Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to Sowkya Med Vision. Today we are going to start with the new series of physiology. We are going to start with the new topic. First topic, homeostasis. The basic word you have to know, and this is a word you will come across throughout your medical life, and you have to differentiate between the homeostasis and the hemostasis. Whereas homeostasis comes which gives a meaning of internal balance of the body, whereas hemostasis, it is something related to blood, the regulation of the blood. Yes, you have to differentiate between homeostasis and the hemostasis before writing an answer. Yes, it will be asked for 5 marks, the short answer or the long answer, and we will discuss the homeostasis under different headings. Let's see the definition, introduction, basic functions of the homeostasis, components involved in the homeostasis, feedback mechanism with examples, and ending with the conclusion. Yes, let's see the definition of the homeostasis. Now, homeostasis, it is the capacity. Yes, it is the capacity, ability of the body in order to maintain the internal environment, in order to maintain the internal equilibrium. Yes, to maintain the stability of the organism. Yes, there are different systems in our body which involved in the maintenance of the homeostasis, like digestive system, respiratory system, cardiovascular system, the blood vessels and lymphatics. Yes, these are the different types of the symptoms involved in the maintenance of the homeostasis in the body. Yes, the homeostasis, it is a word first introduced by Walter Bradford Cannon. Yes, he is the person used homeostasis for the first time. And now let's see the introduction of the homeostasis. See, homeostasis, it is a self-regulating process. Yes, homeostasis, it is a self-regulating process which is controlled by two main systems, endocrine and the nervous system. These two systems controls and maintains the homeostasis. These two systems are the main systems which controls all other systems involved in the body and to maintain homeostasis and achieve equilibrium. Yes, and now let's see what are the three different components involved in the homeostasis. These are receptor, control center and the effector organ. Now, any change in the internal environment of the body is received, that information is received by receptor. So now these receptors send the information to control center. Yes, the receptor receives the information of changes in the internal environment of the body and send the information to control center, which take over the charge and works accordingly and bring back the normal mechanism, bring back the normal function or maintains the homeostasis. Yes, now, yes, see, if there is any internal change of the internal change of the body, see, this is a set point. Yes, this is the equilibrium point. See, if there is any change in this equilibrium, there will be receptors which receive, these are the receptors which receive the information when there is change in the internal environment. Yes, these receptors which receive the information send the information to the control center. Let's see, the control center is a hypothalamus. Yes, hypothalamus. Yes, the receptors send the information to the control center. The control center, yes, receives the impulse from the receptors and action according through. Yes, send the information to the effector organ and bring back to the set point, bring back to the equilibrium point. Yes, see, if there is any change in the water balance or electrolyte balance, the hypothalamus is stimulated. Yes, the hypothalamus is stimulated and works accordingly. If there is abnormally increased, it is bring back to normal. Yes, physiological state. Yes, homeostasis will work at the physiological limits. Yes, and now let's see the functions of the homeostasis. Now see, there are different systems involved in the body, right? Like digestive system, respiratory system and CVS, cardiovascular system, lymphatics. There are different cells like RBC, leukocytes, WBC. See, the digestive system's functions is what? To digest the food we have taken and the nutrients from the digested food is absorbed to blood vessels, right? So these blood vessels carry these nutrients to the target organs or to the cells, yes, for their metabolism and their function. This is the function of the digestive system. Now, what is the function of the cardiovascular system? The cardiovascular system involves blood vessels and the heart. So heart function is what? To pump the blood. Yes, that blood is passed through the blood vessels, and these blood vessels carry oxygen and the nutrients which is required to cells for their normal functioning. So this is the function of the cardiovascular system. So there is a different function to the different system. These all systems are involved in the achievement of the homeostasis. Yes. Now the main function of the homeostasis is what? Maintain a balanced within the body. Yes. Now let's see what are the mechanism involved in the achievement of the homeostasis. Yes, the mechanism involved in the achievement of the homeostasis is feedback mechanism. Yes, so why the homeostasis mechanism occurs? In order to bring back the normalcy, in order to bring back the functions to the normal if there is any internal change, any alternation. So through the homeostasis feedback mechanism, the homeostasis is achieved. So normalcy is achieved. Yes, now there are two main feedback mechanisms. What are they? Negative feedback system and positive feedback system. Yes, let's see each system with their example. Now, see, negative feedback mechanism. The negative feedback mechanism works through opposite direction to the change. See, if there is any change which makes the function to increase or to decrease, see if there is any secretion, let's say the thyroid secretion, if there is any increase in the thyroid secretions which is abnormal, yes, which is abnormal, so through these negative mechanism the thyroid secretions is bring back to normal at physiological limits. Yes, at physiological limit, you have to mention this word, the physiological limit. Yes, through the negative mechanism the secretions or any abnormal increased or decreased, the function is bring back to the normalcy by negative feedback mechanism. The negative feedback mechanism arrest the changes, stop the changes. Yes, if there is any increase which is abnormal, through this negative feedback mechanism that is decreased and bring back to normal level. Yes, now let's see the example in order to understand the negative feedback mechanism. See, if there is alternation in the water content in the body, we will see a decreased and increased. So firstly we will see decreased in water content. See, if there is any decreased in water content which changes the internal environment. Yes, so this which leads to change in internal environment, that gives signal to the hypothalamus. Yes, this hypothalamus is the center, control center. Yes, that information is reached to the hypothalamus through what? Osmoreceptors. These are the receptors present in the hypothalamus. Yes, now the information is reached to the hypothalamus. Now what hypothalamus do? Hypothalamus stimulated in order to increase what? ADH. ADH is released from posterior pituitary. Yes, it is a posterior pituitary, released by posterior pituitary. So increase in ADH secretion. Yes, what is the function of ADH? It reabsorbs the water content. Yes, it reabsorbs the water content from the filtration. Yes, and increase in water retention. As the ADH reabsorbs the water, increase in water level, increase in fluid level. Then homeostasis is achieved. Normal water content is achieved. Once again, if there is decrease in water content, the hypothalamus is stimulated. The osmoreceptor receives the information and give that information to the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus stimulates the posterior pituitary to further increase ADH secretion, which reabsorbs the water and increase in water retention. Yes. And now, along with this mechanism, we also feel thirst, dryness of the mouth. Along with this automatic system, we also feel thirst, which makes us to take water. Yes, drink water. Yes, through this, the normal water content is achieved. Homeostasis, equilibrium is achieved. Yes, this process is when the water content is decreased in the body. Let's see when water content is increased. What happened when water content is increased above the physiological level? Yes, above the physiological level. This is decreased below physiological level. That physiological level is must and should. Yes. And now what happens when the increased water content above the physiological level? See here, there is stimulation of the osmoreceptors. Here no stimulation to the osmoreceptors. Yes, so the inhibition, decreased secretion of ADH from the pituitary, posterior pituitary. Yes, decreased ADH. What is the ADH function? In order to absorb the water, reabsorb the water. So decreased ADH will decrease the water retention. I'm sorry. Yes, decrease in water retention. So decreased in water retention means less amount of water in the body. So more water is excreted through the urine. Yes, more water is allowed out of the body. Then water decreased in body reached normal water content. See, when increased water level, decreased ADH secretion, decreased water retention, more water in the urine, normal water content is achieved. Homeostasis is achieved. Yes, let's see another example, the thyroid stimulating hormone. See, the thyroxine is a thyroid hormone released by the thyroid gland. See, the normal thyroxine level, when it is increased, yes, when it is increased, that information is carried to center, controlling center. Yes, that information is carried to controlling center, which this is a minus sign. Minus sign it means inhibition. Yes, minus sign means inhibition. So inhibition of thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone is which stimulates the thyroid to release thyroid hormone. So when the thyroid stimulating hormone is inhibited, the thyroid secretion will be decreased. See, when the thyroid secretion is increased above the normal level, certain level should be maintained. If there is increased above that level, there will be inhibition of thyroid stimulating hormone. So there will be decreased thyroid stimulating hormone, which leads to decrease in thyroxine secretion. Yes, that leads to decrease in thyroxine secretion and normal thyroxine level is achieved. And vice versa, when there is decreased in thyroxine secretion, there will be stimulation of TSH, that is thyroid stimulating secretion. Yes, and there will be increase in the secretion, thyroxine secretion, vice versa. And now let's see the positive feedback mechanism. Yes, this positive feedback mechanism works along the change. Yes, if there is increase in secretion, there will be even more increase in the secretion through this mechanism, which will be very less common in our body. Now let's see in the delivery of baby, in the parturition, is there will be onset of labor, started contraction of the uterus. When the uterus started contraction, the baby, the fetus is entered into the cervix. Yes, the cervix will be dilated. Yes, and now the receptors in the cervix are stimulated. The receptors in the cervix are stimulated, and this information from the receptors is reached to the hypothalamus. Yes, the cervix get dilated, in which the receptors are stimulated, which gives information to the hypothalamus to release what? Oxytocin, which works along the effect. So the oxytocin again increases the contractions. Yes, increases the contraction. Now the contraction of the uterus, again the same impulse to the hypothalamus, again release of oxytocin, again contraction. More the release of oxytocin, more the contractions, again more the release of oxytocin, again the increase of the contractions of the uterus. Yes, this is a positive feedback mechanism. Yes, positive feedback mechanism works along the change. If there is an increase, there will be further increase. If there is any decrease, there will be further decrease. Yes, this is the complete discussion of homeostasis. This is the basic information when you're starting to study physiology. Yes, if you have any doubt, please comment in the comment section, and if you like the video, please do like and support the channel. Thank you.